Hello and a very warm welcome to today's Vitality Blast Women League fixture. In League 2, where Kent take on Sussex in what promises to be a thrilling encounter. I'm Molly Davis and I'll be taking you through each ball alongside Nick Dillon as we bring you all the live action here from the home of Kent Cricket. Now, the weather was pretty miserable this morning, but it's finally decided that it is July and the sun should probably make an entrance. So with the phenomenal work of the ground staff here, we do have action to show. It'll be a 10 over a side game today, and it'll be a 3 over power play. So some adjustments to today's fixture. Kent have won the toss and elected to bowl, as we're about to hopefully get started. Welcome, Nick.
Hello. The Guard of Honour look happy. Sibton Park CC joining us this morning, or this afternoon now rather. And it should be a thriller. I think like you said, 3 over power plays, 2 overs per bowler. It's going to be chaos, but it should be good fun, I think.
Yeah, it's the fun kind of cricket that's going to get everyone engaged in watching. I just want to take a moment to say a really big thank you to our sponsor, Cluberly, for supporting today's coverage and sponsoring. Yeah, I mean, I know it's probably a good toss to win today, wasn't it?
You'd think so. When I went down there 50 odd minutes ago, it's still quite damp on the outfield, so I think bowling first was going to be the choice no matter who won the toss. So I'm not at all surprised to see that decision made, but it should be a tight contest, I think. Obviously, Kent coming off a really big win against Glamorgan and keeping that pressure on Sussex for that third place in the South Group. So we should be in for a thriller, I think.
It does definitely look exciting as the umpires are making their way out, and while they're doing that, I will run through the Kent team and Nick will run you through that Sussex team. So for Kent today, we have Captain Megan Bout, Vice Captain Coco Streets, Izzy Kirby, Matilda Callahan, Amy Gordon, Megan Sturge, Zena Bilal, Alice Grant, Alsa Barnfather, Ella Darlington and Izzy James.
Yeah, and for the visitors today, they'll be opening with Izzy Collis and Daisy Mullen as they're making their way to the crease as we speak. And the rest of the lineup looks like this. Nancy Harmon, Kiara Green, Molly Adams, Phoebe Wilkinson, Jazz Wesley, Ava Lee, Talitha Stanley, Lottie Curling and Anna Lewis.
Two very strong lineups today. I know these two teams, I suppose you can't really call it a local derby, but in the form of the South Group and how these fixtures lie with Tier 2, it probably one of the local ones.
Yeah, it's arguably the most local for Kent, I believe. Middlesex is a close second, but the M25 certainly makes that second choice, doesn't it?
Indeed. It's definitely more local than Glamorgan, where the Kent women were on Friday. So, looking out to the middle now, it looks like Amy Gordon will be taking the first over for today in the 10 overs aside. Let's see what can be made of this first over, and probably, I imagine, in the best way possible, lots of chaos.
Certainly. And with the 3 over power play, I think these first 3 overs could decide the game really. If they get off to a flyer, then it's going to be hard to chase, I think, but we'll find out in due course.
As we look like we're about to get set, I've got probably a little early, I think. So eager to get out there and start.
Yeah, no complaints from me.
As Gordon comes into bowl. Again, that's just been dabbed into the backward point region. And they're off the mark. First single of the day.
Yeah, and wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of that today. Just hit and run, quick singles, just to try and keep that scoreboard ticking along.
Absolutely. Again, I think the power play is going to be quite interesting. With only 3 overs this time as well. They're sort of going to be all sort of charged from the moment we start here. As Gordon sets up to come into bowl again. This one, little bit of turn maybe, has been played out into mid-wicket, just for the one.
Yeah, this is a used wicket which was used by the men on Friday night in their, what was a quarter-final clinching victory over Essex. So, wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of purchase for the spinners today.
Gordon again. This time, smashed over mid-wicket, and that has run away for 4. Sort of cleared that front leg. I believe that's Izzy Collis out there. This is her format, I think. From what I know of Izzy Collis over the years, I believe she'll be investing in this 10 overs aside.
Yeah, and that was just tossed up a little bit more. It was outside off stump, but when you can sweep that well, it doesn't really matter where the ball pitches. It's always going to be 4.
Again, Gordon into Collis. Bit wider this time. It's a play and a miss. Good take by Megan Sturge there behind the stumps. And a valuable dot ball in the over. Again, in comes Gordon. Again, that's a little bit straighter. Dabbed into the mid-wicket region. And they pick up a single. And that. One more ball left in the over, I believe. I think they're going to come at it hard here, aren't they, Sussex?
Yeah, you'd expect so, and I wouldn't be surprised if the 10th opening pair do the exact same. I mean, Amy Gordon does it in all formats already, so.
Again, in comes Gordon. A spin hits straight down the ground, bit of loft, and it will run away for 4.
That was a beauty.
It was. It was just sort of chipped, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Straight over the bowler's head.
Yeah, and carried quite. Almost went all the way. To be fair, it didn't look like it should have done, but she held her shape really nicely there and just didn't overhit it. Just made sure she middled it, and that's all you need.
That was Sussex's over, probably.
I think so. It was 11 from it. I wouldn't be surprised if that run rate hovers in the high single digits, around 10. I think that's what they'll be aiming for at least.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I feel that that's the approach, and the 3 overs they've got here to try to take advantage of only having 2 out. The rain's definitely going to slow up that outfield as well. So, yeah, I would definitely imagine they're going to continue that way. And it is Alice Grant coming in for the Nackington Road end.
Yeah, the seamers only bowled 2 overs the other day against Glamorgan. Is there any reason why, or was it just not in favour? So obviously it was quite a good day for the spinners.
It was a bit of a slow wicket. So the spinners did quite well with that, actually.
As Grant's into bowl from the Nackington Road end. She goes for the ramp first ball, and it's cleared short, fine leg. And that will go all the way to the rope for 4. Some shot that is, isn't it?
Like I said earlier, it definitely sort of falls in the preferred format for Izzy Collis. But brilliant shot, advantage. You have Tilly Callahan there up in the ring, so it's a good option.
Yeah, and she ended up falling over when she played it, but came straight out the middle of the bat. And yeah, even though it has been raining, as soon as you beat the infield, it's going to be tough to catch up with. As Grant's into bowl again, and that's cut to the fielder at deep cover for a single. Oh.
No, you are right, though, obviously, at Glamorgan. Wicket was a little bit slower, but Izzy James did a great job with the ball, and Gordon as well. But, yeah, Alice Grant bowled some handy overs up front there as well. Sort of, I always call it, bowls a heavy ball, gets through to your keeper quite well. So I think she'll be looking to sort of bang it in a bit back of a length today. Bit of a stickier pitch again, probably here, where it's sat under the covers.
As she starts her run up again from the far side, bowls, and that's just nudged into the leg side. A slight fumble there at mid wicket, but no damage done for another single. Yeah, it sort of depends on if any rain managed to sneak under the covers, because obviously they've just had the sheets over it, so we'll find out in due course. As Grant false starts there.
No, Grant's a brilliant player to have in the team, but at this stage, I think she sort of really suits this kind of format.
Yeah, as she bowls from the far side, and that's just pushed back to mid-on, and there's that sort of heavy ball, as you say, just in on a length.
Yeah.
Hard to get away.
Yeah, knowledgeable cricketer, Alice Grant. We were having some good chats in the week, actually, about what she tries to achieve with the ball. And yeah, smart bowler, sort of one I don't massively like facing in the nets.
As she bowls again, steps over to the leg side and just clears square leg. And it will go all the way for 4. Amy Gordon on the deep mid-wicket boundary couldn't quite make up the ground there. That's just, from a batting point of view, that's a really smart way to use your crease. She's put 3 in an area just outside the off stump. So to eliminate that, she steps across and pulls for 4.
Yeah, that probably wasn't that much of a bad ball, actually. But I think that Mullen has managed to come across there and just help that on its way.
Yeah, that's sort of top of 4th stump, so it's where you want to be bowling as a seamer. As she's in again. Similar sort of delivery, up in the air, but clears the mid-on fielder, Izzy Kirby, tracking back, but they'll take 2, and that's just good running. I think there were 2 as soon as it left the bat from. I think Collis made the call there, but that's the end of the second over, and that will be 22 without loss. So going at 11s.
That was a good over again from Sussex. Again, not a bad over bowled there from Alice Grant, but smart batting has just sort of pushed that in Sussex's favour. But you're right, hitting that sort of 4 stump line, maybe slightly back of a length, but they've They've made them into scoring options. But there will be a change of bowling again from the pavilion end. It will be Ella Darlington.
Yeah.
Who's
Bowled very well at Cluberly.
Yeah.
And even the week before, actually at the double header when she was sort of forced into the attack, probably not by choice at the time.
No, she's taken an opportunity with sort of both hands actually, and really sort of stepped up. And she's into bowl to Collis. Again, that's just been dabbed to point, but that will be a dot ball. Something that Kent will be very happy to see.
Dot balls are almost like wickets in the sort of a 10 over smash, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's so valuable in these 3 overs as well to try and dot up as much as you can. These 2 Sussex batters seem pretty smart with what they're doing, so can Kent get that early breakthrough? Darlington again, bit fuller, pushed down the leg side. It will be a wide, but in the end a good stop from Sturge. We saved 2 or 3 there. But no, Ella's been sort of a really good addition to the squad over the last couple of weeks.
Bit like a golden arm almost.
Yeah. In she comes again. Again, that's been hit hard through cover in the end, and that will race away for 4. Again, good shot, well worked, and for the outfield having so much rain, it's been pretty quick.
Yep. Yeah, that has flown across the Owls. I suppose that's gone across the square there, so that probably helped a little bit.
Yeah.
But even if there was a sweeper, hard to imagine anyone catching that one up.
Again, Darlington back into Collis. A bit fuller this time. Bit of movement in, but they will sneak a single to cover. But again, good running from Sussex. I think it looks like they have a pretty clear plan, which is run well and try and make every ball into a boundary scoring shot.
Yeah.
Again, Darlington comes back in to Mullen. Again, that swing again. It's into the... Oh, it could be a mix-up here. Poor calling, but in the end, they're going to get home. Oh, that was interesting.
That was confusing. I didn't actually see what happened. I'll just wait for a replay here.
So that ball was just hit into the square leg region, and the deep boundary fielder wasn't in the ring. And Collis just came jogging down for the 1, but I'm not sure if Mullen was watching.
Mullen completely lost the ball there. She had no idea where it went.
In comes Darlington. Again, that's just been pushed down leg side. Will unfortunately be a wide for the Kent team, but again, that in swing that she gets, it's quite natural.
And I suppose from a Kent point of view, it's quite reassuring to see a bit of movement from this ball. It's not the cloudiest, it's sort of cleared up a little bit, so they'll be glad to see some movement there.
In comes Darlington again. Bit of movement, but that's pushed into deep backward square leg, and they will get a single. Better running that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think in that one, Mullen lost where the ball went. Obviously, Collis had a great view because she could see it going out to square leg. But that could have been a big mix-up there in the power play. Again, in comes Darlington. Bit of flighted this time, turns into a full toss. But there'll be a single down the ground to mid-on, where Bilal is on the boundary. And that does conclude the over and the end of the power play.
Yeah. The score 32 without loss, so definitely Sussex power play there. I'm sure that's not surprising anyone. I think it was always going to be, I think in sort of a 10 over smash, you'd always have the batting side on top early on, especially until you can take a couple of quick wickets. But looks like Megan Belt might be turning to herself here.
Yeah, I think with the experience, Megan has played a lot of cricket. I'd imagine during her time, a lot of rain-affected cricket. So I like the responsibility that she's taken to say, I'll give myself an over here and try and get that breakthrough that Kent need. So changes, they've got some 2 leg side boundary fielders out, one at deep square leg and one at deep mid wicket. And she's gone for mid on and mid off also dropping out here. So let's see where Sussex can find their boundary option. Has that missed everything?
No, nothing yet from the umpire. So it must have... Oh, leg buys. Leg buys there, so... Was that just the single as well? As Megan Belt bowls. A bit shorter that time and pulled towards cow corner. But it'll just be the single. I think that's Zina Bilal on the boundary. Made up quite a lot of ground there, so much welcome sight for the Kent captain. She's into bowl again, and that's just a massive slog sweep was attempted, and I don't think there was an edge on it, but Megan Sturge fumbled it there, and luckily it didn't carry on too far, else they might have been able to sneak a bye through there.
There might have been something. Megan Bout seemed keen. That might just be a bowler thing.
As she tries to go again, and that's just sort of pushed into the gap on the leg side, and they'll just take one. I think that's Tilly Callahan on the boundary. They've been finding the gaps quite nicely here, Sussex, just keeping that strike ticking again.
Yeah, they've used the crease well. They've moved around in their crease to find that option.
As Belt bowls again, swept straight to the deep mid-wicket fielder. Oh, that might have hit a drain cover or something, but no damage done. And that's another single.
Some noises going around the ground here. I think they're premature.
Slightly peculiar, wasn't it? As Belt comes in again from the Atherton Road end, bowls a bit floatier again, but nothing there as it's just pushed to mid-wicket. And that, in the context of the game, is a superb over from the Kent captain. Just the 4 runs coming from. Oh, sorry, it might even have just been 3 there.
Yeah, great over from Megan there. I think definitely tried to halt the play. Obviously, out of the power play makes things slightly easier for Kent. But when she played them down in Hove, actually, she got figures of 2 for 22. Yeah. So, likes bowling at Sussex.
And it looks like Isabella James from the pavilion end.
Yeah, it is. Good addition again to the squad this year. Been brilliant all year with the ball. And this last Friday just gone actually down at Glamorgan. She bowled very nicely actually. Yeah,
and from the outside looking in is arguably been the strike bowler this season, I think.
Yeah, she's been someone that Bout's turned to quite a bit for that wicket option or just to sort of dry up their middle overs. And she's done it very well actually.
Yeah. So we've got long on, long off, cow corner and deep square leg. So I think she'll be looking to get this one pitching around leg stump and hoping for a bit of turn.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised here at all to see Collis use her feet and try and hit her in that sort of cow corner region. As James is into bowl. Floated, hit, hard, out to Amy Gordon at a deep long on there. Just be the single.
Yeah, where that's come towards the practice wickets down on this near side, it plugged quite a lot when it bounced. So obviously the practice wickets accumulated quite a few puddles this morning. So
again, James in to Mullen, floated, and that's just been pushed back to her, but she couldn't cut it off, so that will be a single again. I feel like singles are a great option, but in sort of a 10 overs aside, you feel now there's going to be a shot coming that's going to try and be a boundary finding shot here for Collis. Again, that's just been hit out to cow corner where Coco Streets does the work. Another single to the total.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the 2 batters here tries to open up that offside, because obviously the fielder's aligned on the ring there. One shot either through or over is a boundary.
James in. Use her feet. And that is out stumped. Good bit of work there by Megan Sturge. And that takes the wicket of Mullen. But you're right, using her feet, trying to find that option over sort of the offside.
Yeah, and I think sort of Isabella James tempted her into that one. It was much more floated than the first couple.
Yeah.
And just looking at the replay, it did turn quite a lot actually. She ended up taking that outside the wide lines, so that's exactly what you want to see from your leg spinner. And the Hampshire low knee for Kent stumps the Hampshire low knee for Sussex.
Absolutely, it's a breakthrough that Kent desperately needed, and that obviously does bring the total 39 for 1. But that will bring, is that Nancy Harmon coming out to the crease? My eyes aren't that good from up here.
I believe it should be. We'll just wait for the scorers to just confirm. But yeah, then looking at the replay, that's very impressive bit of bowling there, and even better keeping, I think, to get that ball across from almost off the pitch to the stumps in time is exactly what Kent needed, as you said. So
yeah, it's a very big wicket there from Kent. And again, I was saying earlier, turning to James to create the opportunity has worked yet again as she comes into bowl. Again, that's been hit high out to deep square leg. and it will just drop for the come back for 2 though. Had plugged, didn't it? Didn't move, didn't run on.
And just to confirm that, it's Nancy Harmon at the crease now for the visitors.
Again, good bit of creating there from Kent.
Yeah, and you should put that down. You could say that's a chance.
In comes James. Moving her feet, has gone high up in the air. Amy Gordon runs in. And she takes the catch. That is 2 wickets in. James is over there, and that is a big over for Kent.
Yeah, and that's the new batter, I believe. Straight in and almost straight out. That's slightly less good of a wicket, if you will, compared to the first one. Bit of a full toss, but no complaints. It's out in the book, so Kent will certainly take it.
Yeah, I think, like we said earlier, turning to James does create the opportunity. I think what we've learnt from maybe her 2 wickets that she's got, a bit slower, a bit more flight to it, may cause a few more problems, especially that stumping.
Yeah, and I think once Amy Gordon got herself settled underneath it, she was never going to drop it, was she?
No, she really enjoys her boundary fielding, so another good catch. But that does bring the end of the over, and it will be Megan Bout to continue, and the score is 41 for 2.
Yeah, and the new batter is the Sussex Sharks captain, Kiara Green. I think she may be facing first up. No, it'll be Collis on strike, so they obviously didn't cross there.
So very good from Kent, but a lot of experience still in that Sussex lineup.
That's Belt bowls. That's almost just taken the captain's head off at the non-striker's end there, but it's another single to the total. That was quite close to being something that could go on TikTok later on, sure, doesn't it?
She did well to avoid that in the end. But no, experience, as I've just said, so if Kent can keep applying the pressure, but Sussex...
Belt bowls, straight back down the ground, and it should just be another single. Oh, slightly interesting throw back there. I think it got stuck in JMO's hand a little bit. But yeah, so 41 for 2 at the halfway stage. Would you be happy with that?
Yeah.
As Belt bowls. Hit straight back down. That's twice now.
Done it again.
Collis has almost hit her captain. Yeah, would you be happy at 41? So looking at mid-80s, I think, at the way they're going. As Belt bowls again. Cut this time. And it's beat Darlington at backward point, but it looks like she'll cut it off just before the boundary rope, and they should take 2 there.
Yeah, I think the 2 wickets are very big from Kent. I think to remove the 2 batters they've had is a big win. Maybe they'd want to restrict them to maybe sort of 10, 15 less. But again, if they can stem it now in these sort of middle overs, they'd be happy, I think.
As Belt bowls from the far end, a LBW appeal. I think she inside edge that one. It didn't look like a convincing appeal, but I suppose if you don't ask, you don't get.
No, I think Sussex will be pretty happy where they are at this stage.
As Belt bowls again. Shorter this time, pulled. And Gordon's on that in relatively short time. Hold it to just a single again. Oh, throw in, just hit the batter on the pads. So 47 for 2, 6 overs gone. I think the 2 spinners here have done a very good job of sort of bringing it back, if you will. And it will be Isabella James to bowl her second and final over.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think spin this year has been Kent's biggest winner. I think Isabel James and Megan Bout have been leading that, with the additions of Amy Gordon generally bowling front up in a T20.
Yep.
And obviously in 50 over cricket, she'll sort of maybe bowl in middle overs. So that's been Kent's strength this year, I'd say, is their spin attack.
So very quickly, while she's taking her dart, where does Kent find the rest of the overs from? Is it Amy Gordon, do you think?
I think she'll definitely bowl her second. As James comes back in, floatier this time. But again, that's just been pushed out to Elsa. No, Izzy Kirby, correction, sorry, in the covers. It'll be a dot ball, valuable dot.
I suppose one thing that Kent have been lucky to have is so many bowlers in the side.
Yeah. James again. Again, that's been hit out to long off, just for the one there. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Gordon will definitely bowl her second over. And obviously they've got Grant potentially with one more, Darlington if needed as well. Collis sets up. James is in. Again, that is not
Megan
out.
Sturge absolutely wanted that one, didn't she?
Not out in the end, as Collis remains on the floor. Hope she's okay.
It looked a good shout, though, from the Kent keeper there.
It did. Good bit of work behind the stumps.
Fortunately, we don't have a side on camera, so we can't...
No.
It looks like her foot was just back in time, but I think Megan Sturge was hoping that it didn't quite make it back down. But yeah, very, very, once again, good bowling from Isabella James to beat that outside edge.
Again, something that she's done very well this year. But every keeper thinks it's out, so I can agree with Megan Sturge there.
You would have done the same.
Yeah, everything's out. James back in again to Collis. This time just been hit out to long on to Gordon. It will be the one. It looks like she's just trying to clear that front leg, doesn't it? To try and sort of hit it over Amy Gordon. Yeah,
and at this point with 3.5 overs left, sorry, that's sort of what you need to do, I think.
Again, James is in to green. That's just been hit into the offside. It's a dot ball. Valuable dot ball.
Yeah, and that's a very good area from the bowler there. Just sort of making a... Caught in two minds, I think, whether to go forward or back to that one.
Yeah, I do agree. Again, James. This time cut, but straight to Ella Darlington for another dot ball. Good over.
Turned into one of the fielders of the season, Ella Darlington, since she's been in the side. She's sort of full of energy and very quick through the outfield as well, so it's good to see her sort of taking her opportunity with both hands.
Yeah, like I said, coming to the squad a couple of weeks ago now. Really good addition. Definitely someone that will be in a Kent shirt for quite a while, I believe. And good attitude to the game and great, yeah, just great to be around as a person, actually.
Yeah, and I did wonder if this would happen. It looks like we're going to have Zina Bilal from the far end. Again, another one that's been sort of turned to when wickets have been needed by Kent captain Megan Belt.
Yeah, I think this presents a unique opportunity in the sense of 2 overs max. You've had your Izzy James overs, you've had your Megan Bowell overs. Obviously, Gordon has one more to save. Could this be the over that turns it in Kent's favour, or with a bit of pace on the ball, could Sussex jump on this now and try and get a quick 10 from this over, and then before you know it, you're 59 for 2 after 8.
We will find out in due course as Bilal begins her run up from the Nackington Road end. And bowls, and there's that ramp again, and it beats the fielder for a boundary. That's much needed for the visitors, I think. He had sort of dried up a little bit, but like you said, using that pace.
Yeah, it was a good option there by Izzy Collis, but I do agree it's hard in this format because your spinners only have 2 overs, but is the pace on going to work in favour of Sussex here?
And it wasn't the worst delivery. It was top and middle stump, so if you miss, I hit sort of thing. As Bilal will have another go from the far end. And bowls Fuller this time. Much better there from Bilal. I think that's a perfect Yorker. Sturge did very well to keep that, didn't she?
She did indeed. That was a good follow-up ball there by Bilal.
And then that pressure sort of switches back onto the batting side almost. So I think from this point you want to try and store off every ball. So to find dot balls at this stage of the game is crucial.
Yeah, a couple of fielding changes here. Still have a deep square leg, deep long on, and a deep sort of mid-wicket now out. Covers come up into the ring and deep mid-off's gone out, so straight probably isn't the best option here.
As Bilal bowls, she goes for the ramp again, and that's not given as a wide. Megan Sturge did her very best to bring that ball back as far as she could. I do wonder if because she squared up and tried to go for the ramp is the main reason that wasn't given, but it did look quite wide from here. But no complaints from Bilal, I'm sure.
Valuable dot ball again, though.
As Bilal bowls in, there's the ramp again. That I don't know what that hit, but it hasn't left the wicket. She might have ramped it into herself. She might have ramped it into Megan Sturge. I don't really know.
I get the impression she might have hit that into Sturge.
We'll find out on the replay, but Megan Sturge looked like she got surprised by something. Here we go. No, it's hit her own pad, but Megan Sturge must have thought it popped up for a catch.
But it is another dot ball, so that is...
As Bilal bowls from the far end. wide of that. That's another dot ball. That's very good bowling. I think Collis will be a bit frustrated at that one that she may have missed out on. It was short, it was wide, and there's no cover on the offside, so she'll probably want that one back. But again, since that first ball 4, it's been 4 dot balls.
Yeah, this is an over that at the moment might be going to Kent.
As Bilal bowls fuller and straighter that time, it's nudged into the leg side. They're going to look for 2. And I think that's Elsa Barnfather on the boundary, just holding it to 1 there. So that's a superb over from a Kent point of view, just 5 from it, as the score is 54 for 2 from 8, so 2 overs remain.
So 2 overs left here, Nick. What are you thinking? If you're in Sussex's shoes, what are you wanting?
I think you want to try and go at 10s for the last 2 at the bare minimum. I know it was the power play, but it showed that it's certainly possible.
Yeah.
With Collis in on 29 not out at the moment, she's the best person, to do it. You've got your opening batter still there, 8 overs in. It's not, you can't ask for much more. So I think if she could just try and keep as much of the strike as possible, and ultimately try and just open up the gaps like deep cover here.
It's Gordon. Short, that's been hit firmly down to long on. It will just be 1 though. I think you're right. Again, not surprised to see Amy Gordon come back to bowl her last over. After Bilal's over before, I imagine she might bowl the last.
Yeah, I would assume so as well.
Gordon again, shorter. That's hit firm, but again, just the 1 out to James at long off.
So field looking like long on, long off, cow corner, deep square leg, and then 3 in on the offside, 2 in on the leg side.
Into Collis. Again, that's been hit to the covers. And it's a mix-up here. Might be run out at the bowler's end, and it will be.
Yeah, it's a tricky position, I think, for Collis, who unfortunately has to go there. Where you're the set batter, you want to be on strike as much as you can. You know you can find the boundary, but it's one of them that if you've got to go, you've just got to go, don't you?
Exactly. I think penultimate over, you've got to push. I think disappointing for Izzy Collis because she was set, and she probably would have been the person to maybe go at 10s at these last 2 overs.
The throw in wasn't the best either. It was thrown surprisingly hard, and it wasn't an online throw either. Amy Gordon did have a little bit to do.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Kent won't complain, and the keeper Molly Adams comes to the crease now.
Again, I feel these 2 batters are capable of going at 10s.
Yep.
It's now setting in and Captain Green being at the crease. How's she going to play out these last few balls of the game here?
And I suppose there might be an ounce of pressure building. You've just run out your teammate. Whether she's thinking about that or not, I don't know.
Again, shorter. That's hit thick outside edge. There's no third man. It's not going to go for 4. So it'll just be a couple in the end. Well chased by Ella Darlington.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, very quick through the outfield. I think that's the one thing that to me has stood out about her being back in the team, is it just brings that new bit of energy to the team there.
Again, Gordon cleared that front leg, hit firmly through the mid-wicket region. It's 4 more.
Yeah, not necessarily the nicest shot in the world, but it's exactly what you need. Hit a little bit too hard for Megan Belt there at mid-wicket. It just sort of beat her as she dove down to her left, and it was always going to split the fielder, I think.
I think you're right, but then that's that gritty cricket, especially when you've only got 10 overs. So, well placed to the end. Gordon comes in to finish her over. Again, same thing. It's out. Caught. Point. Ella Darlington again. Again, I don't think the Sussex captain's done much wrong there. Just trying to open up that offside. Didn't quite get it. But that name, Ella Darlington, again.
And, as we've been saying, that offside's been where the massive gaps are. If you can beat the infield, you're probably going to, get at least 2 guaranteed. And just didn't quite have enough oomph on that one to get it over the infield. And, Darlington was never gonna have an issue with that one, the way she's been fielding recently.
Absolutely not. That will be the end of that over, won't it?
Yeah, I believe it is. So that's Amy Gordon all sorted. 1 for 19 from 2 overs. So that's reasonable in the circumstances, I think. 8 and over.
I think so.
1 at the start, 1 at the end as well. So it's probably the 2 toughest positions to be bowling in. as the score is now 62 for 4. So I think here 70 is the bare minimum, I think.
I think so. I think they're going to be looking just to get over that 70 mark.
Yeah. And Phoebe Wilkinson joins Molly Adams at the crease. It will be Zina Bilal to continue from the far side, just as we thought. I think it's a no-brainer after the last over she bowled, isn't it?
Yeah, she bowled brilliantly, didn't she? Again, that trust in maybe your younger bowlers here that Bout's given to Bilal.
And that's sort of what this season for Kent Women's been built on, is trust in the younger players. You've seen it with Jen Gier and now Zina Bilal, now Ella Darlington as well.
Yeah, it's good to see.
As Bilal bowls from the far side. And that's tried to be cut away, but just wasn't quite short enough, I don't think, for a cut. And that's a very valuable dot ball for the hosts.
Yeah, I think looking at options, leg side field is out, so you can maybe expect that short one from Bilal that she likes to turn to.
Yeah.
But I think moving away, opening up the offside, going over mid-off where Megan Bout is probably a good option.
As Bilal bowls again from the Nattington Road, and it's just patted back to, she gets a hand to it, but can't pick it up cleanly, but they don't decide to run. Yeah, I like what Megan Bout's done here. Definitely putting a tempter out there, hit through the offside. They've put fine lead bat as well to eliminate the ramp that's been costly so far.
Indeed. There's no offside fielder out on the boundary.
As Bilal bowls again, and they've just been made to pay for that, as it was a bit edgy, but it beat the short third and point fielder, and it was, again, we've said it a lot, it's always going to fly off the outfield here, no matter how much it rains, I think. The ground staff have done an excellent job of getting the pitch ready for today, and that shows just there.
It does. That big swing of the bat, I think that's what I'd be doing in this situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes, yeah, no, it pays off.
And it's one of them that even with as hard as you swing, if you get an edge on it, it can fly away for 4. As Zina Bilal starts her run again and bowls full that time. That's just been clothed into the lead side, and they're going to turn and go for 2. And they're going to get there as Elsa Barnfather's throw is a little bit too late. That's great running from the visitors. And there's 2 deliveries left now. 68 for 4.
Your 70's on here.
Yeah, I would love it to finish on 70 so I can be right. I've been right about quite a few things today, so I'll take that. As Bilal starts her run up again from the Lackington Road end and bowls down the lead side. It's given as a wide. Megan Sturgis done quite well there to eliminate the damage, because I wouldn't have surprised me if that would have flown to the boundary.
Indeed, that is 2 more to Sussex's total, but that does mean, as it was a wide, there is still 2 more balls to go in this over.
Yeah, Sturgis did well to get across there. I think just got hands to it.
She did. I'm not sure if Fine Leg would have got over to cut that off.
And we're going to have a field change, and it's going to be Fine Leg coming into the ring and deep covers going out for Wilkinson's first ball. So they've obviously seen something. The analysts have seen something. Maybe from the last fixture between these two sides. I don't quite remember how deep the Sussex batting was tested as Bilal bowls. Short and wide, and given as a wide. Zina Bilal's first over sort of being, all the good is being sort of undone here.
Yeah, I feel that it's again that sort of back end pressure of bowling in the shorter format of the game.
Yeah, and funnily enough, the one in the last over that wasn't given us a wide was wider than that one as she bowls again. And that's cut straight to that deep cover fielder. But they may try and push for 2 anyway. It looks like they will. The throw's going to come in. And not in time. The throw didn't have enough legs on it. Megan Sturge had to leave the stumps, but her turn and throw back wasn't in time, decided by the umpire there at square leg. If we have a look at the replay. Oh, well, that's a lot closer than I think the umpires made it out to be. But again, without that side-on angle, we'll never know what he saw. So, final ball of the innings, 73 for 4, the visitors, as Bilal takes a deep breath and starts her run up from the Nattington Road end. Bowls short, and that's punched through that same gap. They're going to look and go for 2. And Coco Streets this time throws it probably to the wrong end. The visitors will take 2, which means they will set a very competitive 75 for 4 from their 10 over allocation. What do you make of that, Molly?
think if you're Sussex, you're probably pretty happy with that. I think go 75 off of, or how was 75 in the end, was it, did you say?
Yep, 75.
Yeah, 75 off of 10. I'd be happy with that. I think there's going to be a good chase from Kent. I think they're going to come out positively, but I think what we've seen is you have to make the best of your 3 over power play. As short and sort of punchy as it is, sort of make advantage of that, and then that's sort of what sets you up here. But I'll be intrigued to see who comes out for Kent.
You'd expect Amy Gordon and Megan Sturge, I think, but is there a case for someone like Izzy Kirby to move up the order and open the batting? She can hit a very long ball, as we've seen so far this season.
I wouldn't. Amy Gordon will more than likely open up Kent's innings.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see Elsa Barnfather.
Yeah, has hit a few big shots in the past couple of games, and arguably one of the form batters. Toto Streets as well, you can't forget her 41 against Glamorgan, not out as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see the way they go about it.
Yes, we will see who opens up for Kent. It will be a competitive chase, and it should be a good 10 overs of cricket. And hopefully, if you're a Kent fan, hopefully Kent can get the win.
Yeah, and massive thank you again to Cluberly for sponsoring the Kent Cricket in-house live stream all season long. And we're going to take a short break while the players switch over, and we'll be back just before the start of the second innings. Welcome back to the Tent Cricket live stream sponsored by Cluberly. We're about to get going for the second innings here at the Spitfire Ground. And it will be, as we expected, Amy Gordon and Megan Surge to open the batting for the visitors as the umpires make their way out to the middle.
Yeah, I feel I've called that wrong in the interval. As I was saying, it might be someone else coming to open. But it will be Megan Sturge and it will be Amy Gordon to open up for Kent.
Yeah, I think while the pair are available in all formats, they'd probably be the go-to opening pair.
Yes, a lot of experience between these two. I feel probably in a good way for Kent. Amy Gordon will come out and bat today no differently than she would bat in any other format.
And I think that's exactly what Kent need here. Obviously, we've seen she's got the talent. She's struggling for runs recently, I think. And obviously been out the side for a couple of times, a couple of matches recently as well. But yeah, if she can get firing like we know she can, it's going to be Kent in the driver's seat, we think. But it'll be Megan Sturge to take the first one.
Yeah, I think Amy Gordon's just walked down to the non-striker end and probably hasn't said anything, just carried on walking. But Megan Sturge is up to face the first ball of the game. It looks like that Sussex are going to go with spin. I think it is green.
I'm agreeing with you there. Kiara Green, the captain herself. I like that decision. I think we saw spin in the first innings was pretty tricky to get away. I suppose the contrast is it's the power play. You're only going to have two fielders out, and they will be at Cow Corner. So that's more of a deep mid wicket, I think, than Cow Corner.
Yeah.
And long on, so there's a nice big gap in that Cow Corner region as the first ball is bowled. Darted in very quickly there, and Megan Sturge looked like she was on Dancing on Ice for a little second there.
That one's got through, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. It looked like Sturge wasn't expecting it to be that quick as Green bowls again. And that's nudged to the square leg fielder for another dot. Yeah, I think this is a lot quicker than we were all expecting to see the spinner bowl here, but it's working so far.
It is. I think the tactic is get out of your over, especially the first over of a short format game.
As Green bowls again. Pushed into the offside for a dot. It doesn't look like there's any intent so far. And it's hard to say you're seeing off the new ball.
10 overs older, that's what it'll be.
As Green bowls again. Punched to the cover point fielder for a quick single. Amy Gordon doesn't look best pleased, but she made it, no problems. And as we were saying, what are the chances she tries to send this into the seats?
There's a few clothes and food concessions at long on here, so I'm sure she's eyeing that up.
As Green readies herself at the end of her mark and bowls, and that's pushed into the leg side, fielded by the pushed away by the square left fielder.
Izzy Collis, I think, there.
In football, you'd say she's pushed it around the post there for another single. So that's two from this over so far, with one ball remaining. As the skipper bowls. And that's pushed straight back to the bowler for a dot. That's a superb over for the visitors. And not what the hosts wanted there.
No, I think you obviously want to get off to a flyer, especially first over of the game, but Green's bowled beautifully there and tied Kent up. Bowled sort of a good line, definitely a good length, and as you said, sort of darted that in quite quickly. Yeah. And she's got through it pretty quick, actually. Yeah,
and say a big hello to Arthur, watching in Herne Bay today with his family. Massive hello to you. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying the cricket as we are here. It's been great to actually get some cricket under when we got here this morning. We thought there's going to be absolutely no chance, so it's great that the rain's cleared off, even though it looks very threatening over to our left. But it's great to watch some cricket, and it's great that you've been able to join us today, as we've had a new bowler that's putting in some seam, I think.
I think you're right.
And it's going to be Lottie Turlin.
She comes in. Again, hands thrown at that. It will be one bounce into the fielder's hands at deep cover for the single.
Yeah, that's the Amy Gordon we expected, isn't it? No problems with that, I don't think. I think she would have tried to like that a bit straighter.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel pace on is always something that Amy Gordon favours.
Yeah.
But well placed in the end.
Yeah.
And Sturge sets up to face her first ball from the pavilion end. Again, curling's in. Oh, again, that's a thick outside edge, and it will run away for 4.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself as she was running in, there's no fielder at third or fine leg, and as we spoke about in the interval, if you sort of slash at a ball hard enough and you do find the edge, it will probably race away here, and that's exactly what's happened. That's a much welcome boundary for Kent.
It was a good diving effort from Molly Adams there, but couldn't quite get a hand on it. That's 4 more to Kent's total. I just feel here this might be the over that Kent looked to slightly get after the first over going to Sussex. Again, hit hard, hands thrown at it, but it should be just the one out to the offside boundary fielder, and it is.
Yeah, and that was a really nice shot actually from Megan, so it's just a shame it was straight to the fielder. It's certainly promising that it's coming out the middle of the bat early on, apart from that edge, I suppose, but it's what you want from your openers, ball coming out the middle of the bat, and hopefully they can capitalise on the second half of this power play.
Curling in. Again, that's been hit up to mid-on. It will be a dot ball, though.
And that's something, when we last did commentary as well, we noted that the opposition were much inclined to take those singles to the fielder and put pressure on them. I did wonder if Amy Gordon was going to go then, but I suppose they don't want to take any risks early on and lose any unnecessary wickets.
I think it's a fine balance, isn't it, with your power play only being 3 overs long. Curling in again. Front leg cleared out the way. That's sent over mid-wicket for 4 runs.
Yeah, and that's the Amy Gordon we expected to see. Wasn't necessarily the worst delivery in the world. There was a bit of away movement there, I believe, and it was a sort of a little bit back of a length, I think, swinging away. It was missing the stump, so it was a bit of a free hit, and Gordon capitalised very nicely on that one.
Yeah, that was in sort of Gordon's art there, wasn't it? She's viewing, sort of looking at that leg side, sort of up and over the inner ring. As again, curling comes back in. Again, up in the air. And that's over 6 runs. She's hit that over mid-on. Great shot.
The crowd certainly enjoyed that one. The announcer loved it even more. Just a little bit back of a length, I think, and that's almost a baseball swing. Short and wide, but somehow it's gone over long on for 6, and all of a sudden, Kent are almost back on top.
Good over from Kent there. We said earlier at the beginning of that over that these two probably more favourable to pace on the ball.
Yeah, and
I think it's green again, or if it's going to be, might be a change of bowler. Apologies.
It's a change of bowling. It's I believe. Don't hold me to it until we have confirmation, but I believe that's Ava Lee, the other Hampshire loanee for the visitors today. I'm going purely based off the no name and number on the bat. But that it's either going to be Daisy Mullen or Ava Lee. We'll get confirmation as soon as we know.
Yeah, apologies. The electronic scoreboard has decided not to play ball today, so we are very much going on what we can see in front of us rather than the power of technology. Yeah,
and makes our job a little harder, but the Les Ames is going strong, which is great to see. As the mysterious bowler bowls. And that's cut through the gap at backward point. That's a lovely shot from Megan Sturge, and it just about has the legs to go for 4. Again, another superb shot from Megan Sturge. That's a proper cricket shot, that is.
Yeah, it is. I feel that Kent are really having to make the most of these 3 over power play.
Yeah.
I feel.
And just to jump in there, that is that is Daisy Mullen bowling, according to the scorers. So. She's going to bowl again very quickly afterwards, and that's missed the wicket keeper. It's going to go for 1 down to short fine leg. And obviously bat or glove was on that one. It looked like it might have been leg byes, but Megan Sturge won't come out. That's another run to her total.
No, exactly. I think mid-low is going to be quite key here. I think Sussex skipper Green will be hoping to get out of this over pretty quickly and be able to maximise them fielders out.
And Mullen bowls. Gordon steps across, and her leg stump, I believe that is, has just gone flying out of the ground. Tried to open up that gap over square leg, but just completely missed it. And I don't hate the option, I don't think, but she got herself in 12 or 5 deliveries before that. And that was simply just bowling it on the stumps. The ball didn't do anything special. And Sussex have their first wicket.
Yeah, I think it wasn't a bad option. Just obviously the execution wasn't quite there today. But sort of not to take anything away from Amy Gordon there. Her and Megan Sturge have got Kent off to a good sort of platform here. And I am not surprised to see Elsa Barnfather walk out for Kent.
Yep.
I thought she might open. I was proved wrong. But she's in at 3, which I think's a brilliant option from Kent.
One of the informed batters in this Kent lineup today. Not surprised to see her come out at 3. Did wonder if Tilly Callahan might come out in her usual 3 position, but I suppose when you've got batters in as good as form as Elsa Barnfather, maybe even Coco Streets, who might get a little promotion up the order.
Yeah, I think also the format right now, obviously with only 8 overs left, suits Barnfather maybe slightly more.
Yeah.
I had the privilege of watching Barnfather bat at Glamorgan on Friday, and she probably hit the longest 6 I've seen this year. It was sort of the men's size boundaries they weren't brought in, so even then she's good enough to clear the boundary. So I'm sure she'll be eyeing that up today.
And in a completely unrelated observation, the Sussex 12th and 13th players have cool bags instead of drinks holders. I really like that. As Merlin continues from the Nackington Road end, and that's hit straight down the ground, and it's beat the fielder. That's a superb shot first up from Elsa Barnfather.
Yeah,
that's as good as it gets, I think.
It is. This is why I think it was just a really good option to bring her in at 3. I think it's going to put the pressure back on Sussex, even with Amy Gordon obviously getting out, watching Elsa Barnfather walk to the creases. Yeah, as a bowling team.
I did wonder for a second if Kiara Green, who has now straightened herself up, to tuck that one off, but alas, she couldn't, as Barnfather just pads that one to cover. So I still think, where would you say the game's going now? I still say it's quite in the balance, really. 27 for 1 off 2 and 4 balls.
Yeah, I think no one's quite home yet. I think wickets obviously could be a turning point here, but a couple of big overs.
As Mutland bowls to Barnfather again, that's gone high, deep, and caught at long on. Barnfather had one intention there, and that was to score quickly, and unfortunately that's brought the end of her in only 3 balls. I think that's really good field setting, sort of, from the Sussex skipper. She's gone long on the offside first ball, dot ball the second time. She tried to go big on the third, but it just didn't pay off.
I think it's, again, from Green's perspective, just trusting the process, knowing that you are going to get hit for 4 in this kind of format, and just remembering to stick to what you know, and it obviously paid off. But shame to see Elsa Barnfather lose her wicket there. I'm sure Sussex fans will be happy to see that, because she's an informed batter that can definitely win games for Kent. And you were right, because that brings Coco Streets out. Another informed player, 40 or 41 in Glamorgan.
41 not out, wasn't it? And it's turned out to be a very crucial 41. At one point it looked like they were doing a bit too slowly, but then I think she took an over for 19 at one point, and that really changed the game. So I'm sure she'll be looking to do the exact same and keep that fine form going, because she struggled for runs at the start of the season a little bit, and it's been great to see her sort of turn that sort of page over now and get back in the runs. You know, we all know how good she is.
Yeah, exactly. Again, another batter that can definitely get Kent over the line here. Her and Megan Sturge.
And it'll be Talitha Stanley from the pavilion end.
Another change. Keeping me on my toes today with the bowling changes we're having as she comes in to Sturge. Again, that's been helped out on its way to sort of a deep square leg region. Picked up, I think, by Nancy Harmon. Just with a single.
Yeah, and this is a very similar field to what Megan Butt had set for most of the innings. Deep square leg, cow corner, long on, and the only difference here is mid-off is up, and there is a deep cover, which is the one area we said that Sussex should be attacking a little bit more often. Yeah.
I agree with that. And she comes in as Coco Streets faces her first ball of the day. Again, that is just hit into a vacant cover region. It will just be the single.
Yeah, a little bit wider, that one. I do wonder if that was just about in the tram lines.
Yeah.
Because one thing I did quite like that Sussex did was if there was a ball going down the lead side, they just didn't even consider playing it. They left it, took the wide, took the extra run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a bit of smart cricket in there.
And on replay, that was a good decision in the end to play at that one.
As Stanley's in to Sturge now. Again, that has just been hit to point just for the single. Good running in the ring again by Kent. Again, I feel obviously we're out the power play now, so the fielder can then spread, and Sussex can have have more options on.
Yeah, and where do you think that Kent needs to go from here? Is it just sort of controlling the over and not letting the Sussex get on top?
Yeah, Stanley's back in. Again, that's been helped on its way out to deep mid-wicket, but it will be cut off, and the 2 is turned down. Good fielding out there by Harman. Yeah, I think you're right. I think trying to control the game from here is quite important. I mean, 2 wickets down. I think if we can try and sort of milk these singles here, obviously Coco Streets has proven if she's in back end of the game that she can get Kent over the line. So, yeah, Kent needs to keep going, and Sussex want that 3rd, I reckon. Stanley into Sturge. Again, Sturge just pushes it on to mid-on. It'll just be the 1 again.
Yeah, it's basically exactly what you just said. Is just control the over. Don't let the visitors get on top. And I'm sure if they can go at 6 and over, they'll be able to find the, what's that, about 8 runs difference between balls and runs at the moment. So
Yeah.
I think they're in a good position, but I think, they do need to try and take the freebies when they come.
Yeah, I think the wickets is key here, losing 2 last over. But again, Stanley's into Streets. That is just sort of cross-batted out to deep mid-wicket. That's the 1 again. Harman's patrolled that boundary quite nicely over that over.
Very, very well there. Covered a lot of ground. Actually, I'm sure she'll hope for a little breather here, but sometimes your boundary fielders, they just love it, don't they?
They do. Could never be me. But obviously that total now is 33 for 2 after 4. There's 6 overs left here.
Yeah, but Kent require another 43 from 36 deliveries. So if you looked at that alone, you'd say that they're in pole position. But with the spinners that Sussex still have left, sort of overs-wise,
Yeah.
and it looks like it'll be the oh no, another change of box. She's done that twice now.
Yeah.
This will be
Jazz Wesley.
This will be Jazz Wesley, yeah, who bowled it, if I remember correctly, very, very well in the return fixture in Hove.
Yeah. Sussex aren't in short supply of spinners. They've a good spinner attack, very similar to Kent, actually.
Yeah.
So again, controlling these middle overs that Bout and James did well for Kent. If Sussex can do that, then that's going to be a positive for them. But 1 big over here from Kent could change the game.
As Wesley is learning to bowl from the far side, floated that one up wide and missed by Coco Streets. No further damage done by the keeper fumbling that one, and that would be a very crucial dot ball for the visitors.
I think you're right. I think dot balls sometimes can be as valuable as wickets in sort of just a 10 over game.
Yeah. As Wesley starts her run up again from the far side. Bowls, hit straight back down the ground, but straight to the fielder for a single. And I think as well, the one good thing that Sussex have got in the locker is the captaincy of Kiara Green. Her field setting so far has been superb, and we've seen that all season long, I think.
Yeah, the games that I've sort of watched from afar, she's been brilliant. Knows her stuff from what I can just see as an onlooker. So, good captain to have.
As Sturge gets ready to face the next delivery from Wesley and pushes it into the leg side. And that'll be another single, I believe.
This is something that Sturge has always done well for as long as I can remember. She's always hit them ones quite well. Her game is to sort of hit as many singles as she can and push in the 2s.
Yeah.
Where someone like an Amy Gordon would just try and find you them boundary options.
Yeah, she didn't look best pleased, Megan Sturge, there. As Wesley bowls again. Streets tries to go big. And was that stumped?
I think it might have been stumped.
I thought she hit it, but maybe she hit the floor. I heard a noise anyway, and she was never going to get back in her ground when the ball was in the keeper's hands there, and that's a very valuable wicket for the visitors. So so she hit it onto her pad.
That was collected by Adams.
So she hit it into the floor, onto her back leg, straight into the keeper's hands. It didn't even roll to the keeper, straight into her hands. That's a very interesting wicket, actually, but a very, very welcomed one.
Smart bit of work from Molly Adams, keeper to keeper. I always compliment that.
That's a very interesting wicket, and here comes the big hitting Izzy Kirby. Does this surprise you a little bit?
I think the occasion calls for this,
yeah.
So I'm not surprised to see. But playing devil's advocate here, Nick, was that the shot that was on?
I don't hate the feet movement at all. I think that to the spinners on this wicket, you need to get to the pitch of the ball. But she has ultimately tried to hit that over the cow corner, and it wasn't going to hit the stumps if she just left it. So
I'm not sure if you've seen that.
I didn't, but I heard...
one of the Sussex drinks runners has fallen over on her shoulder and appears to have hurt herself.
Yeah, I was watching the replay of that stumping, I'm afraid, and she looks to be in some discomfort, so we hope everything's okay there.
Yeah, we hope she's okay. She's landed on a very dodgy point of her shoulder there, and she looks in some discomfort. Physio has come out.
And Wesley will be into bowl from the far side. And that's beaten Kirby all ends up first up. And I think the intent was there straight away.
Yeah, Kirby likes to hit straight. She's obviously got deep mid on out on the boundaries, so that'd be a one option, but I wouldn't be surprised to see her to try and go over.
It's a long off, I think
Long
she'll be
off,
aiming for.
Yeah.
As Wesley bowls again, much quicker that time into the pitch as well, and it's just pushed into the leg side.
2 is turned out, I can say.
Yeah, I think Izzy Turby struggled a bit to keep up with Sturge then, as that's the end of the over. And yeah, it's
good over.
yeah, very good over. 36 for 3 from 5 at the halfway point, so Kent now falling behind. As we said, it's all onto all pressure now. Lost a couple of wickets, and all of a sudden it's advantage Sussex, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think, again, one big over will sort of pull Kent back into this. But we spoke earlier about milking the singles and looking for that sort of boundary option when it's there. And Coco Streets and Megan Sturge are doing that really well. So shame Streets fell victim to a stump in there. And Kirby is facing up for her first ball from the pavilion end, and the change of bowling, I believe.
Bear with us again, we've got another
Technical issue.
another identity issue.
In she comes the bowl, bit shorter, and that's missed everything. That's kept a little bit low, even being back of a length. Gone through to Molly Adams.
Anna Lewis.
Anna
bowler.
Lewis.
Sorry, it's once again quite hard to see from here.
Yeah, apologies. We mentioned earlier the big screen is down, so the Les Ames scoreboard is fantastic for the score, but not for the bowlers' names. In comes Lewis again. Kirby just hit that straight back down to her, and it'll be a single. Megan Sturge's gone for a little run.
Oh, she tried to get back in her ground, but decided to go across the pitch at a 45-degree angle, which was a new one.
Far too much running for my liking. Lewis is in again to Kirby. Shorter. Hit out to square leg. There's a boundary fielder out there. I think it is Jess Wesley. But they've been turned down for the second. So it is a single. And in the end, a good bit of work.
Yeah, and once again, Megan Sturge looked like she wanted 2 there, but I think Kirby was more than happy to let the set batter here take the strike. Yeah.
As Lewis is in to Sturge. Using her feet. Again, that's missed everything inside the tram lines. So that is going to be a dot ball and a valuable dot for Sussex.
Yeah, she just stepped across outside leg stump just to try and open up the mat. There's only a sweeper at cover, so she probably tried to go through point there, I think. Obviously needs to hit the ball before to have any reward.
I like the option though.
Yeah.
Lewis again. To Sturge. Over, cover. One bounce into the deep fielder's hands. Good option, good connection, but has just picked out the only fielder.
Yeah, that
out in the boundary.
It was a lovely shot straight out of the middle of the bat. Used her feet very well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a shame that fielder's out there, or else that would be a very, very lovely 4.
Makes it look easy, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Again, Lewis into Kirby here. Again, Kirby's gone high. It has fallen safe to the deep mid wicket fielder.
Yeah, and the intent's been there since ball 1 for Izzy Kirby, I think. And as we thought, she'd try and keep this run rate ticking at quite a high number, but 39 for 3 from 6. I think it's looking like a upward hill now for the hosts.
So last 4 overs here then. Obviously, Captain Green has an over left.
Yep.
Jazz Wesley's coming in for her last over of the game.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised by that at all. She bowled very well in the first over.
And I believe there's Mullen has a final over as well. Again, we are trying to go on our best knowledge here, everyone, because we don't have the stats and figures in front of us. because the screen is down. So there's 3 of the 4 overs. So who will bowl that last?
Wesley gets going from the Nackington Road end, bowls down the ledge side, and that's pushed into a gap that was very quickly closed down by the fielder. I couldn't tell you who it was, I'm afraid. I think I think that was Daisy Mullen, but I can't tell from here.
Very well fielded though, stopping that 2 there for Kent.
Yeah, cut it off very quickly, which is exactly what Sussex need at this point. As Wesley from the far side bowls. Punched through cover. Should just be 1.
Again,
yeah,
well fielded.
just a single. Megan Sturge again turned and looked like... I think it's just more the fact that you'd always try and look to turn it into 2. But it was never really an option.
Wow, just hitting the fielders too well here. I think either side there might be an option to come back.
As Izzy Kirby gets ready to face the next delivery. That's wide outside off stump, and she pulls it back to that long on fielder. Once again for another single. So we've just been informed by our stat man, if you will, that each bowler has 1 left. Apart from Wesley now, who's bowling her second.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if we see all the spinners have their remaining overs as Wesley bowls. That's hit straight, but has it been hit enough to beat the fielder? Yes, it has. And that is a much welcome boundary for the horses here at Canterbury. Megan Sturge going over mid-off. Long on couldn't quite get there in time, and that's pressure off, I think, a little bit from this Wesley spell.
Yeah, I think that's what Kent needed. Lovely shot from Megan Sturge to find the boundary rope. But again, how could Sussex respond here?
Wesley starts her run up from the far side. Bowls short, pulled, and that could be a chance in the deep. Taken. That's a lovely, lovely catch there on the run by a fielder, we can't tell.
That will be, I believe, I want to say Nancy Harmon.
I'm inclined to agree. 1 second and we'll be able to tell you.
It was a brilliant catch out there in the deep, running round to her right.
Yeah, Nancy Harmon, well done, good spot.
Megan Sturge seems to be frustrated with herself there.
Yeah.
Batted brilliantly, but I'm sure she'd want to see her team over the line today. Not to be, but I must say, looking at that, it looked like it was planned by Jazz Wesley. A bit faster, a bit shorter into the ground, sort of played into that field setting she had. So that does bring the score to 46 for 3 for Kent. That's the departure of Megan Sturge, and it does bring Tilly Callaghan out to the crease for Kent.
Yeah, the usual number 3. Normally sort of having to anchor an innings a little bit. Now needs to go at, I think, roughly... it's 30 off 20 is the equation, so it's certainly not impossible, but I'm tricky asked on this surface, I think, with spinners left. And like you said, I think Wesley had certainly planned to get that one darted in a bit. Whether it's meant to be a short, we don't know. But it worked, and that's all that they'll care about.
Yeah, and in the end, good bit of fielding by Sussex. They fielded well today.
Yeah.
But Tilly Callaghan at the crease for Kent now, and a lot of experience from her side of things. So hopefully she can put in a shift here and get Kent the win.
As Wesley continues from the Nackington Road end. And it's hit Callaghan on the pads first ball. Nice to see the intents there from the off at least.
Yeah, looking to open up that leg side, wasn't she?
Yeah, and that's an end of a superb spell there. Oh, yeah, it will be the end of a superb. Sorry, the store ball took a second to keep up to date here. But that's the end of a superb spell from the spinner. 2 for 10 from 2 overs. That's exactly what you want in a 10 over game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good figures. I'd be happy with that if I was a bowler. But I think, again, credit to the Sussex bowlers today and what Green's done. I think as our stat man sent over, everyone's bowled their over. She shared it around and sort of not let anyone sort of settle in, and therefore batters not being able to settle. And it is going to be herself. Change of ends for Green. Yep. Started at the Nackington Road end, and now she's going to finish up her day at the Pavilion end. Yeah,
and I'd argue this is the biggest over of the match now. They always say the second last one's the most important, but I think in a 10 over match, if you're going into the last 2 needing anything more than 20, it's a very tricky ask.
As Green's into Kirby. Again, that's darted through. Missed Kirby spat altogether.
Try to just dab that down because there's no fielder behind square on the offside. It's certainly a decent option.
I like the option, but it's probably not going to be a 4 option. It's probably going to be 2. And Kent need a boundary. Green again. Again, that is hit firmly down to long on, but it will just be the one.
Yeah, and in the nicest way possible, I think if anyone's going to be able to get that delicate sort of touch down to third, it will be Tilly Callahan.
Yeah.
I think what we've seen so far is where she's had to sort of come in early on in previous games, she's sort of carried it with rotating the strike quite well.
Green to Callahan, using her feet. That's hit to short mid-wicket. Good diving stop there by Izzy Collis. That will just be the single. Yeah, Tilly's sort of good. Anything sort of behind the wicket and square is her favourable option. Where I'd say Izzy Kirby's stronger down the ground.
Yeah, and again, I wouldn't be surprised if this tries to go over mid-on, or mid-off,
Green to Kirby. Again, that's just been hit out to the mid-wicket region, just the other side of Izzy Collis, so they will get a single.
Yeah. And what the Sussex skipper here is doing very well, she's bowling to her field. She's got 3 out on the offside. She's not giving her any chance at all for the hosts to go through the offside as a short third goes into place.
Quicker ball potentially here. Green again. Slightly. That's high up in the air, out to mid-on, and it is taken there. So that'll be the end of Tilly Callahan. Might have been Mullen out there potentially.
Yeah, it's another known name on the back of the shirt, which
again,
is helpful.
Good catch by Sussex, well bowled. I like the intent from a Kent perspective there, but didn't quite have enough of it and did find the fielder.
Yeah.
So another one.
I think there has to be that level of intent now. The equation's turned to 27 from 14, or maybe even 13 now, sorry. So, yeah. It's advantage the visitors here. Ella Darlington, the new batter, we know that she can hit the ball quite hard and quite well. She's very, very good batter. Normally an opener, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, usually bats up the order in 50-over cricket. I feel if anyone's going to change today's game, it's going to be Ella Darlington. That name I've said a lot recently, so today I have no doubt I'll be saying it more.
We've said it a lot today, haven't we?
We have.
So.
But what I will say, actually, is credit to Green. You said that she's bowled to her field. I think she's controlled the game today.
Yeah.
For the 10 overs she's been out there with her team, she's controlled the game, sort of dictated the pace that she wants to play at that first over, getting through pretty quickly, setting the tone, putting Kent on the back foot, and obviously now coming back through her last over, she's definitely dictated and, brought another wicket. As Darlington just takes her guard to set up. I think there's one ball left in the over.
Yep, there will be. And we mentioned how good Wesley's figures were. This is set to be even better.
I'm sure Green will be looking to close the over out well here. As she's into Darlington. Again, bit shorter but quicker. And that is just pushed into the leg side, and it will just be the one. And she's fallen over.
Well, it has rained a lot, and that's the second slip of the afternoon.
Yeah, I just want to take the opportunity to make sure the Sussex drink runner is actually okay, because we have seen her holding her shoulder quite a bit. So, we do hope she's okay. It looked nasty.
It did. It looked horrible. She went down right onto the shoulder as well. So fingers crossed from everyone at Kent Cricket that nothing too serious has happened there.
But the penultimate over the game, everybody watching at home, it is going to be. It's a no name on the shirt, so we're going to go Mullen, I'd assume.
We certainly are, yeah. And just to confirm the figures there from the Sussex captain, 2 overs, 1 for 6.
I'd be very happy with that.
I'd be more than happy with that. I'd have taken that in any form of cricket, I think. So.
Nah, it's a good day to be the Sussex captain.
Yeah.
But the penultimate over here. See if Ella Darlington can create some magic.
Will it be just magic? As the ball comes down, pulled, beats the fine leg fielder. Could that race away to the boundary? No, that's excellent work from the fielder down there at what was deep square leg. She's come right the way round.
That might be Anna Lewis.
I think it is Lewis. Yeah, she must have gone at least 20 yards there to cut that ball off before it reached the rope, and that will be 2 for the hosts. And a much needed 2, even though it didn't quite go all the way. As the bowler comes into bowl again, that's pushed through the covers. That's a lovely, lovely shot. Will it go for 4? It's a lot of work for the fielder. Oh, and it's just beaten her. She made the ground, but it just snuck through. And that's the very welcome boundary there, which leaves 20 from 10.
I've said it, Ella Darlington.
And just to correct ourselves, it is Ava Lee, not Daisy Mullen bowling.
Apologies.
But again, no name on the shirt. That's all we could only guess. And Ella Darlington could be playing a match-winning knock here as a change of angle. That's flicked over the short mid-wicket fielder. They should turn and go for 2 here, I think. Kirby goes for it. It's gone to Darlington's end. Not
run.
with enough steam. That's again a very welcome 2. And at the minute, if they keep this up, they could be in for a thrilling last over.
Yeah, brilliant work from Ella Darlington. Probably the quickest player on the team in terms of running.
Yep.
Doesn't challenge me for that spot. So see what she can do here.
As Lee bowls again. And that sort of paddle swept straight. Oh, that's great work from the fielder there at short. Fine.
I think that's Phoebe
I
Wilkinson.
think that's Phoebe Wilkinson. Yeah, that's very crucial in the context of the game. I think it's saved another single, but probably saved another 3 there.
Yeah, if I'm correct, I think that's Phoebe Wilkinson. Went through the Kent pathway, actually. So we'll know a few of the girls, like Megan Sturge here, very well.
There's a lovely stat for you there. So change of field here for Izzy Kirby. I think much more protection straight down the ground as it's bowled. And it's hit her on the back leg. Must have pitched outside the leg because no one was interested in the LBW shout. And that's a crucial dot ball.
Yeah, if anything, the dot, I think Sussex aren't going to be complaining about that.
Yeah, and that another dot ball here could potentially seal the deal. Looking at sort of run rates now as Kirby waits for the ball, tries to go big, and it'll be one bounce into the fielder's hands. Oh, fumbled, but no damage. And that's just a single. The equation for the hosts will be 16 from the final over, and this could be a thriller.
16 off of 6. I feel that with these 2 at the crease, it's possible. Izzy Kirby can hit a long ball, and Ella Darlington just seems to make things happen.
Yep, and there was 10 from that second last over, so their eyes might be in now. And I think that, I suppose the advantage is, unlike sort of the cricket video games, you still have all 10 wickets in this. You may want to try and push 1s into 2s no matter what, because you do have 2 sort of batters who are seeing it quite nicely so far.
Yeah, I think, everyone in the Kent lineup can bat. So I think they're going to be looking to push the 2s, bit of risky cricket.
Yeah, and Steve Watts, the announcer here, getting the crowd, the very strong crowd I should say, up for this one here. A big push now, as it will be Talitha Stanley to bowl the final over from the pavilion end.
Yeah, I must say, good crowd, considering we had rain up till about 2:30 today.
Yeah, and it's great for them to get a full 10 overs each.
Yeah.
Here.
So to start the last over, Stanley to Kirby. Again, that is a very big swing by Izzy Kirby, and has fortunately missed it, and it's gone through to Molly Adams for a dot.
Yeah, no, I mean, you have to have some form of intent, but at the same time, bat on ball is crucial.
Yeah.
You need to at least take one. You can't afford dots at this stage, because now 16 or 5 is a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah, 16 off 5 here's big ask, but not impossible. Stanley is in to Kirby for the second ball of the over. Again, that's been hit hard up to mid-off. It will sneak through a single, but again, Green calmly just passes that back to the bowler.
Yeah,
no
absolutely no need to throw that in, because it's certainly an overthrow if it misses the stumps or the bowler there.
15 off of 4.
I mean, we've seen it. It's fair to say we've seen it happen.
We have.
Certainly advantage Sussex.
As she comes into Darlington. Floated, hit hard, up to mid-off, and it will just be the one. Green, no dramas, picks it up, throws it gently back to the bowler.
It's cool as ice from the captain there. She knows what she's doing, so.
Yeah. Her coolness on and off the field is evident. I spoke to her today, a very calm and collected person.
14 off 3, we need some maximums here.
Into Kirby. Big swing. Inside edge goes down to short, fine leg just for the 1.
So assuming she keeps it clean and no wides, no balls, it's an impossible task from here on out. However, on no ball changes everything.
Exactly. If you're a Sussex player, Sussex fan, Sussex coach, you're saying get your foot behind that line.
Just like the Kent men were hoping that Chris Jordan did on Friday night against our visitors today.
In she comes to Ella Darlington. Again, big swing through the covers, and it's gone to the boundary field. They're going to come back for 2. Molly Adam collects it, take the stumps off, and it's not out.
Yeah, Darlington did very well there. I think it did look like she was safe, and gosh, she's quick, isn't she? That was probably never a shot for 2, but in the circumstances, you've just got to go. And It's quite unfortunate for the fielding team. They did nothing wrong there, but Darlington made her ground nicely there.
Yeah, she did. Good athlete.
So 11 from the final ball, sadly not going to happen. But would you still like to see her go for this, or do you reckon she'll just take the average?
No, Ella Darlington will play for the team, so even though it's impossible, she'll try and lower the deficit as possible. So she'll be thinking for a boundary here. Last ball of the game. Into Ella Darlington. Again, moves her feet, tries to hit it over, but it will be out LBW for the last ball of the game. Good intent, trying to hit it over.
Yep.
Square leg.
Yeah, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with the shot, and there's probably absolutely nothing wrong with that LBW shot as well. It looked superb from here. So Stanley finishes with figures of 1 for 11 from 2 overs, and in a 10-over game, as we've said about half the bowlers now, it's been perfect for them.
Yeah.
Sadly, apart from Megan Sturz, not much to shout about. Amy Dorden, 12 off 6.
Yeah, I think obviously disappointing for Kent not to get the win today, especially off of a reduced game. 10 overs is always a bit more of a potluck because it's an even more reduced game. No credit to Sussex today. I think they came out with good batting intent, and I think bowlers bowled to their fields and captained really well by Green and just controlled that game. So that result does mean Sussex Sharks win for Kent's final game in the Vitality Blast this year.
And that confirms third for Sussex as well in the South Group. So pretty good season for them, I think, in the circumstances. Middlesex have been superb. Glamorgan have also been pretty good this season. So I'm sure there'll be no complaints from Sussex about a third place finish. Kent will finish fourth, no matter what the result in the Middlesex Gloucestershire game is. But we'll do a little store update very quickly. Derbyshire Falcons women versus Leicestershire Foxes, 125 for 5. Plays 109 for 8. Leicestershire won by 16 there. Worcestershire Rapids played Yorkshire in a rain-affected game. Yorkshire won by 6 wickets. That's to DLS. They chased 93 in 12.5 overs. So Yorkshire finished the T20 season unbeaten, which is quite impressive, obviously, and I'm sure they'll be looking to do that finals day as well.
Yeah.
And the other game in the South Group is still going on. They're going to get the full 20 in, which is very surprising.
Yeah.
Middlesex women set 147 for 5 off their 20. Gloucestershire women need 21 from 2.5 with 5 wickets left. So anyone's game there, I think.
Yes, and as we just said, that brings Kent's Vitality Blast to an end this year. But that is not the end of their season. So the Metrobank One Day Cup will be continuing in August for the Kent women. They are at Beckenham on Saturday the 9th of August to Northamptonshire Steelbacks, and Saturday the 16th of August they're at the County Ground Beckenham again to take on Glamorgan, and they finish up their home run this year at the Spitfire home of Kent Cricket against Yorkshire women on the 30th of August. So if you've enjoyed today's game and a big fan of the Kent women, please come on down to Beckenham and the home of Kent Cricket here and Canterbury to watch the Kent women close off their 2025 season in the Metrobank One Day Cup.
Yeah, and we'll just close on a little bit of good news. The fielder for Sussex that took that tumble running the drinks is okay. She's walking around perfectly normally, which is great to see.
Yes, good to see. Thank you for joining and tuning in today. I hope we have been insightful, and we will see you all very soon.